Hey y'all, Kelly Whitney here with another thing older black women should tell younger black women but don't. Girls, men are supposed to treat you well. I feel like there's some really basic information that women are not taught and they should be taught. It's like how I didn't know that you're not supposed to wash your with soap. I didn't know that until I was in my 40s. It's a serious dereliction of informational exchange. You see what I'm saying? But I feel like along that same line, women are not taught explicitly that men should treat them well. And if they don't treat them well, then you shouldn't be with that man. I had a boyfriend. He actually was not American. He was Spanish. I met him when I was in college. I saw him walking by. And I said to my friend, "Who is that?" And she said, "Oh, that's so-and-so." I said, "He's very handsome." She said, "Would you like me to introduce you?" I said, "No." But of course, she went and told him what I said. We ended up talking and he was very funny, very smart, this and that, da. We ended up together. We stayed together for years. He actually asked me to marry him and I didn't because my reasons were sound at the time. And I remember the first time he came home with me from college and I had a headache because, I really didn't like being at home. It was stressful to me. Still is if I'm not in my house, but I digress. Anyway, he came down to the kitchen and told my mother, "Nina has a headache." And she looked at him and him thinking maybe, there was some kind of language barrier. He went on to specify, "I need some aspirin for her." My mother retold that little story over and over and over again for years because she could not believe that a man was going out of his way to get me some aspirin for my headache. And for a very long time, I just laughed whenever she would retell that little story. But the older I've gotten, the more I've realized how truly sad it is that she thought that was special. That's not special. That's basic. A man concerning himself with your welfare, with your physical well-being, caring enough for you. You guys are in a relationship and he cares enough for you to seek out some pills to make your headache go away. That's not special. But she told that story as though it was. And it leads one to think one inevitable conclusion. Women are not taught all the time that men are supposed to treat them kindly. And so when they do, it's like, and we do the most, and it's just not worth all that. You should accept that as your due because that is your due. You're a human being, of course. A man should care for you and not treat you poorly. But instead, I feel like women are taught, well, girl, you just got to tough it out. You got to do this for him. You got to do that for him. You got to just, it's going to be hard. No. My relationship with that man was the antithesis of hard. I remember one time he did some hoe shit, and that was the only time we broke up. We broke up for about summer, a couple of months in between years of college. And I went out and dated somebody else. And he came back begging and begging and begging. I said, "No, I'm busy. I'm dating somebody else." And I wasn't mean to him about it. I just said, "You did X, Y, and Z. That's not me. I don't deal with that." He begged and carried on, and I let him come back because I wanted to. And he never did that again. But my point is, when men treat you well, that is as it should be. That's basic. That's a requirement. And relationships don't have to be hard all the time. In fact, I believe if they are hard, you're probably misaligned. You may be with the wrong person at the wrong time, or something foundational is not right, because two people having a good time together, talking, communicating, that should not be rocket science. That should not be terribly difficult and stressful, and you shouldn't have to work so hard and put yourself out so hard. No. If you find yourself as a woman working that hard, you need to work hard on something or someone else because you're in the wrong place. And I think a lot of older black women may not tell younger black women that because we have been indoctrinated into the struggle. You see what I'm saying? And so we think everything has to be hard. We got to work for it. We got to sacrifice. We got to struggle. We got to do what we can to try and pull the relationship. No. If you doing all that, my question to you is, what is he doing? Why are you doing all the work, holding the relationship together? A relationship takes two. So if you find yourself in a situation even remotely like anything that I just described, I would like you to reconsider before you get in too deep. am I in the right place? Because I would posit that you may not be in the right place. And that ends my TED Talk for today. I'll see y'all tomorrow.